All right, Sultai Oko here. So, something we've talked about on stream a bunch is the Oko package. For those not familiar with the standard format, what I refer to as the Oko package is Gilded Goose here at the bottom end to ramp and create food. Gilded Goose also can be provided as steady food by Oko. And then Wicked Wolf is the best food payoff in standard by being a removal spell that's a hard to answer threat in a lot of these fair mid-rangey kind of matchups. So I've surrounded Oko with a bunch of other like constructed playable cards. So I've got some Once Upon a Times helping us find Questing Beast, Wicked Wolf, Gilded Goose on one a little bit more consistently. We've got Knight of the Ebon Legion and Murderous Rider, just other quality cards. Since I went into black for Murderous Rider and Knight, I've got a couple of trophies and Vraskas here at the top end. Vraska can eat the food that Oko makes every turn to draw an extra card, so her plus can turn into drawing a card with Oko out. Questing Beast is just an incredibly individual, powerful card that's very good in this format. The stat line is great, all of the text is relevant in different places, so let's go ahead and dive on into some matches and see how this goes. Does Oko want a Boreal Grazer for the Wild and a Kettle Curve? I don't think so. I think in some decks you want... Whoa, it says I'm 323. It said off season though. Oh no, what if we lose and they're ranked, they're in the 86% chat. What if we lose and we drop? Oh no, better win, chump. Yikes. We've made a terrible mistake. Oh no! Welcome to the danger zone. Yeah, I have it on video with it telling me that we're in the off season, so... Festy, thanks for the Twitch Prime support, I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. I'm in danger. I just played a match and it didn't change my rank because it ended in the off season. God bless. God bless us, everyone. I think I just let this happen. And then we trophy this guy. Just like goodbye, 4-4. One Broco, please. I would like to go to 6.
One body, and all your cares are gone.
Questing Beast would have been a little brutal there. That's true. Well, speaking of... Are you sure you want to make a 3-3? Yes. Yes, Magic Arena, I quite am. Yeah, Questing Beast is just like, listen, chat. I work for Jeff, not the other way around. BRB... Thank you for the brand new Prime support. Welcome to Hoaglandia. I appreciate you keeping me employed this month with that. Alright, they got a little QB of their own over there. Some hot QB on QB action, except their QB is moments away from being a 3-3. Gosh, Vraska is hungry. She just gobbles up these hydras. Turning that one into a 3/3 is not ideal. What is your quest? I kind of feel like I'm down for a backup QB.
Surely you must be famished.
Being legendary is the most balanced part of the card. That's definitely true. Look at that. It's almost like we knew that was coming.
An unfortunate
Maybe it's right to just, like, make another 3/3 here. Could go either way on that.
One bite, and all your cares are gone.
Oko's so smug. He really is. Oh,
I invite you to change your ways.
Who's afraid of the big bad wolf? The big bad wolf, the big bad wolf. They're afraid of the big bad wolf. Do 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 do. Beep 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 do 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 do. Beep 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 do do beep 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 do. What do I even cut here? What do I even cut here? Just like two Once Upon a Time. I'm not sure my Druid in a once. Most of our cards are just like great here, right? Cut trophy, you crazy? Get out of here. Yee, and I cannot emphasize this enough. Ha. Can you whistle the theme to Peter? I'm actually incapable of whistling. It's not. That's not a human trait that I possess. What's after Flash today, by the way? We have blue-white control. What do you think, Chad? Do you think we're gonna stay over 2,000 people for the next hour? Should I plan to do another deck after blue-green Flash? This seems great. That's, yep. Sign me up. Show us you can't whistle. I don't believe you. It's all I got. It's all I got. ASM me harder, Daddy. ASM me harder. That's all I want. I did 4 to myself. That's great. I was like, why did this get bigger? I shocked and did this. That's fantastic. Bless up, Murderous Rider. Yeah, right? Losing 2 life? All upside. They're trying to figure it out too, right? They're like, why'd this stupid thing trigger?
Open your heart to the magic that dances around. Welcome to the feast.
Welcome to the feast. This is where we feast on players who aren't playing Oko for some reason.
Let's broaden your existence.
Whee! Moving on up. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do I have a favorite Oko deck yet? I do not. 0%. Give me rewards. Give me rewards. Scheming Symmetry. Who is in charge of picking these this season? Can we have a very serious discussion with whoever was in charge of picking these cards? They'd been doing really well. They had like been picking super, like even the uncommons they'd been picking were playable. Hey, we got a mythic wild card from the wheel. That's nice. How do you like Eldraine compared to M20? I actually really liked M20. I think both M20 and Eldraine were very good. I think a lot of people were salty on I think a lot of people were salty. You just made me spend $250 on singles to play this. I think a lot of people were salty on M20 because War was such an incredibly bad set. Like, War was so bad, it soured everyone on Standard and people didn't give it a chance. Like, the 7-set format that War created is quite possibly one of the worst Standard formats I've ever played. Which is quite astonishing, considering, like, the 5-set Standard format when Guilds released and things rotated was so good. Yeah, I mean, there were Field of the Dead decks, but I honestly didn't mind them on the whole too much. Shocking revelation here. Our curve here is actually really good. We get to go 3 into 4 here. Interesting. Interesting. All right, I guess we'll go Paradise Druid then. If they were mono red, I'd want to play a 2/3 lifelinker, but against Jeskai, I probably want Murder. It was a terrible limited format. That really makes me wonder, right? Like, if Constructed sucked and Limited also sucked, like, who was asleep at the wheel for that to happen, right? Play a Teferi or a Narset. You know you want to. Yeah, Field, at least Field actually constitutes Magic, I feel like. I think that's a good assessment. We triggered Ebon Knight by losing 2 life from our Murderous Rider and shocking ourselves. How often are you playing Rider without the Adventure first? Pretty rarely. It's like exclusively against Mono Red. Does that happen?
I'll protect you.
And like, this is why Questing Beast is so good, right? Like, I get to kill their Teferi here without taking time off to attack it. Here's like, this has haste, so when it gets bounced, it's not a big deal. It finishes it without having to actually attack it. Like, they're at 8 here, right? Yeah, that's exactly correct. Questing Beast was designed for explicitly this. Are they dead? They're dead to a land, right? That's a pretty good draw. Yeah.
I won't forgive this.
Hey, Sergeant Budkinson, thanks for the prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. Hope you're having a good one wherever you are. We're actually just laughing at them anaphylactic. They're like Scheming Symmetry and Angel of Vitality, I believe. They're real bad. They only discarded 1 card there, and that doesn't bode well for me. Okay. Oh, they gave it lifelink. Yikes. Huh?
The fool are useless. Oh dear.
Everyone is expendable, except me.
You can't transform fires into... God, another one? That's brutal. Maybe I am just supposed to just kill the fires here. And they had another one anyways, whatever. I didn't Assassin's Trophy the fire because I wasn't expecting them to have the Stone Cold Nuts 2 turns in a row. What does killing fires actually accomplish would be my question to you.
It's not fair.
Like, my opponent's already gained the mana advantage from having it in play.
The ends justify the means.
Yeah, it is funny. We were talking about this yesterday. I said if there's a good fires deck, I expect it to involve this card. And like, they ended up having a second one, so like, killing the first one wouldn't have really accomplished anything. Yeah, we got really close here, but they gained a bunch at the end.
Secrets manifest before you. I shall withdraw from this petty squad.
Yeah, they had Cavalier plus Clarion 2 turns in a row, right? And like, we're still in this game. Yeah, I think we are, Tumos. Like, they're not doing anything with it, right? Like, what do they, like, they casted free dig through time there, and then their follow-up best play was cast Shimmer of Possibility? So, like, what's the actual end goal? Like, what are they actually accomplishing? Ha! That's a funny observation, Pele. Yeah, like, both times people have been like, kill the fires, like they've had more fires in hand. The Elite Guard 2s are the better ones from... that's another creature that has, oh, I should have killed this in response. Because now they get to give this haste, and +3, so they're gonna kill Vraska. So I messed up here. So I should have killed Cavalier of Flames in response. Now the Hanged Executioner gets bigger.
You'll have to try harder than that. I can take it.
I can hit Questing Beast, right? Nah, I don't want to hit Questing Beast. They'll just exile it. Hey, thanks for the 9 months, Tied to Crims. I appreciate it. Because they want to use this to exile this? I don't know. I think they probably should have killed Vraska, too. Maybe their hand's good enough that they don't care.
Everyone is expendable, except me.
Yeah, I agree, Matto. The fact that they have, like, Executioner and Cavalier seems great. Like, Cavalier especially was a card we were talking about yesterday. Like, what's a way you can leverage on having to use your lands, and Cavalier Flames the first one that jumped to mind. Seems like an excellent use of the card. Cavalier of Flames also lets you, like, discard all your extra lands, because you're not going to need to play any more out while you have fires in play, too, which is nice. That angle of attack seems really appealing.
I'm known for my excellent timing. That's more like it.
I mean, it's hard to really form good opinions, Lazy Man. It's very, very new, right? Everything's new and exciting. Are we dead? This is +4, so this is 10, 15. Not quite dead yet, but close. That is cap number 4, but like, they cast like 2 Drawn from Dreams and a Shimmer, so like... Yeah, they've seen a lot of cards.
Shadows. For now.
Alright, and they put this back in my hand, so... that lets me do this into this. Fight this. Double activate. And like, remember, if I had played better, my Vraska wouldn't have gotten hit. So like, I'd be in a better spot if I had not made a mistake. And again, just like, this is why I'm still hesitant on like what this card's doing, right? Because like my opponent did everything they wanted to do this game, right? Like actual everything. And like we're still sitting here playing a game of Magic against them. They drew all 4 Cavaliers. Like so many things went right and well for my opponent. And we're just like, our draw was kind of middling and we're still fine. Yeah, I'd argue we're even ahead at the moment. They did top a card there, so I wouldn't be, and I made a mistake. They hit Castle Vantress now, and they did top last time, so maybe they're gonna have an answer to this, like another Hanged Executioner would give them a clean answer to this. Yeah, they life-flinked with Massive Cavaliers twice. Like, they were super dead, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, 2 turns in a row, they went Cavalier into Clarion. Yeah, they gained 15-ish life. Oh, you know what? I should have made a food on my turn. I guess I could technically block. Blocking's valuable. My health total's low-ish. So, they scryed top a bunch here, so... Am I dead? If so, how? Because guess what? This is lethal next turn. Okay, they have the Hanged Executioner. When are you playing a new Fairy Modern deck? I mean, none of the fairies we really got go into Modern Fairies. What's going on, Justin? Well, making food on my turn be better, so they can't kill it in response. All right, so now at this point, we're probably dead. I think that's finally going to run us out. Need to draw a little bit more spells here. Yeah, I agree, Wyrock. I feel like the opponent's archetype is like this big late game deck that's not that good in the late game. It's like worse than the other late game payoffs. Yeah, we played a Sultai variation with Dreadhorde Invasion over the weekend. That's actually what inspired this, because Dreadhorde Invasion seemed pretty bad. I mean, it's just been a long game too, so like, we've drawn a lot of lands, but we played a long game. If I hadn't messed up my trophy and they hadn't gotten hit my Vraska for free, we certainly would have been better off. Do it. Yeah, if I use my trophy a little bit better, I think I keep the Vraska around and end up winning that, but I did ultimately end up foobarring that, unfortunately. Alright, a little more hasty monsters at the top end. Paradise Druid seems like an easy cut. Just something that gets swept away by Clarion and doesn't generate much value. Stroke and Duress seem good. If I'm boarding in Stroke and Duress, I probably don't mind trimming some Once Upon a Time. Is Vraska good enough here? Goose is less good in this matchup. I actually think Goose is fine in this matchup. Getting Oko out ahead of time and having a small amount of mana fixing is good, and making the Wicked Wolf better is also nice. So I think Goose is fine. I wonder if it's crazy to trim Vraska. I could just, like, cut all the Once Upon a Time. Yeah, Vraska kills Teferi, and it kills... We saw a Prison Realm, but, like, I have a couple trophies for that, right? I feel like that's... I'm also, like, bringing in these 4-drops, too. I mean, all of these are pretty resistant to Clarion. Yeah, we don't really care about Teferi. awkward. This is one of the dangers of trimming some copies of once. It's mana fixing to a degree. Color fixing. All right, no blue source in there, but kind of. No blue source, but kind of. Another reason to leave. Someone was talking about potentially cutting the goose. Another reason to leave the goose in here is for the fixing.
Walk with me, sing with me. I think, a little merriment.
Yeah, it didn't seem like they had a lot of cheap interaction. Scale of 1 to dead. Where's this goose at? What are we thinking? Hey, Exos Prime, thanks for the 5 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Meaning like Aether Gusted here? Shock. Sure. Make a food. Never didn't have it.
I invite you to change your ways.
Yeah, calves and Ugins. So, like, here's a question. If they were to cast Fires this turn, I think with Double Stroke in my hand, the correct play is let it resolve and then counter their 4 or 5 mana payoff, right? And we bottomed a bunch of, like, good spells with Once Upon a Time, so I'm going to shuffle. Thanks for the Prime support. I appreciate it, Flem. But then next turn, they can keep using it. It seems bad since you want to be aggressive with your Elks. Maybe? Yeah, I don't know. Could go either way. Yeah, I guess if they, like, tap out for Fires now with how much... Yeah, if they tap out for Fires, they're dead on board. So obviously we'll just counter it and kill them, right? Nick Bolas, thank you for the 19 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back. We'll get Oko and Tassiger together. We can call them Sultai Playboys. Tap out for an expensive spell. This card seems absurd against all these decks. All these Fires decks. I don't watch streams often, but when I do, I usually tune into you. Well, I appreciate you keeping me around. Hope you're having a good one. Dead on board. Yeah, I agree, Jet. Our deck's just like... it's just a combination of, like, mid-range good stuff, right? Like, it's green-black Oko with, like, a couple of Disdainful Strokes out of the sideboard as well. Boosty Collins, thanks for the brand new Prime support. Welcome to Hoaglandia. I appreciate you keeping me employed this month with that. Yeah, I'm gonna run it back. This is everything I hate, which means it's good. Again, from an individual card power level perspective, I would be surprised. This deck is reasonable. All the decks that we're planning to play on stream, you can find in the deck queue on the website, Doc Prof. I think I've pretty much added everything I intend to play Hint and end for dealer's choice. I might, when we get more dealer's choice stuff, I'll probably add back in things that I like, but I think I've explored everything at this point that I specifically wanted to touch on. The Phoenix deck earlier was pretty middling. The power level on it was pretty low overall. Other streamers hate Once Upon a Time. Day9 keeps cutting them when he's borrowing your deck list. So, Once Upon a Time is a card that's difficult to really fully evaluate the power level of it because the games it's winning you, it's not noticeable that it's winning you the game. It's one of those cards where it's like, oh, this card helped me not stumble and die. And it's tough. Well, that's a hand. What does Devout Decree hit? It hits like exactly. It's Vraska in the night, right? It hits Murderous Rider too. What am I taking here? Is it just fires? Like the rest of these cards kind of don't matter, right? I think it's just fires. Honestly, I think it's fires or opt. I don't hate taking opt out of that hand. Yeah, they don't have blue mana is exactly correct. Which is the reason why we didn't take it. Yeah, our hand doesn't really care about Clarion at the moment. Did you brick? Smells like bricks. You have a land, Hanged Executioner, sure. Who's got 1 power and doesn't block a questing beast? This guy right here. Ooh. Do I just... I'm gonna take my 2 for 1. So obviously they can Clarion and kill this, but then like they've traded Wicked Wolf and Clarion for, they've traded Clarion and this for this, which I'm okay with. Tasty. Tasty. That card seems really bad. Why would you play a card and then concede? Can't believe maybe their client locked up. Sorcerer Spyglass made him do it. Yeah, this is great. What are we cutting here? Is it crazy to just bottom the goose here? I think I'm just gonna bottom the goose. You wanna bottom the knight? Nah. The mono blue deck this morning was very bad. I think my standout pick for deck of the day so far is the green red seasons deck. Nah, I think this curve is fine. I don't think I need to accelerate. Like, I don't have an Oko to keep the goose going, so like keeping the goose fed doesn't do anything. I don't have a food payoff like the Wicked Wolf in this hand. This might be wrong. Getting this up to a 3rd point of toughness against the Giant Stomp deck, crushing whatever his name is pretty appealing though. And like, oh, they're a Golos deck. Great. Let's crush the greed. Do-do-do-do. Like, if they have a blocker, just like Murderous Rider, smack you. Is Oko very good against the ramp deck? He's probably not, right? I guess he provides a stream of pressure. What do we think of this? This seems fine. Do we want to board in Legion's End? That's a fair take. Let's do. Oh, he steals Yarox. He steals Yarox in Golos's. Yeah, he does. Good call. What problem do you think my deck has that you're going to solve by adding Garrick to this deck, Kirk? Would be my question to you. What card do you cut, and why is that the card you cut? In Magic, there's always lots of different combinations of cards that you can play in any given deck. There's lots of different things in different colors. Nah, Stream Decker's been really slow since the set release. Yeah, Dreadhorde Invasion was pretty mediocre yesterday. Alright, my body is ready to be Clarioned. The appropriate response to hello and then clear boards is, oh yeah, we should turn off emotes again. Or like a 5-color greed deck. Okay, that makes sense. Five color greed explains why they were salty about a 3-drop last game. Or a card being played that cost no mana. Alright, our hand's real bad, so I think we just kill this and hope that we strand them. Yeah, it's really sad that they made it so you have to have emotes on to interact with the pets. Interact with your own pet. That's a really negative EV change for us. I think I'm happy with how we sideboarded. Just gonna go ahead and run it back. I'm not even sure if these Legion's Ends are good. I feel like there's a chance the way we're supposed to approach this matchup is just like fully get under them. Just like try and rely on questing beasts to like run down the finish line on those last few points of damage, as opposed to like they're not scape shifting us anymore, right? Oh, that's true. I could just click on people and mute them to start. I honestly didn't even think about that being an option. Sure, but there's a lot of individually really powerful cards, and like the card you're recommending is a 6 mana card, right? So 6 mana cards in and of themselves are always extremely powerful. So the way you differentiate which powerful cards you want in your deck at any given point is by figuring out, okay, what problem does my deck have and how is it solved by adding that card? For example, if you look at the curve of this deck that I'm playing, this deck's actually fairly low to the ground. Petition to have 187 Cars for Kids be the official anthem of Hoagland. Yeah, I don't know about that one. Thanks for the 3 months, Matt Maxon. Welcome back. Do you have a shock for my knight? Or do we maybe have an Ether Gust here? Like, this gets gusted and then we get flame swept. I'm gonna be real sad. Once upon a time, sure. Oh, maybe they're doing this before gusting me. That would make sense. Oh, Just Growth deal. In. And they showed us Flame Sweep as one of their early sweepers, so the Knight getting up to a 3rd point of toughness here is a big deal. Where did I end the season? 320 something. Not playing was the winning move. The Ceratops with haste doesn't really change anything, right? They're still not dead. Yeah, so after seeing that game play out, I don't think I want Legion of the Dead. I don't think I want Legion of the Dead. I don't think I want Legion's End in my sideboard. And we're playing on the ladder, so I can make changes. That's exciting. I think I want a 3rd Disdainful Stroke, because this card's absurd against those Fires decks. I think I want one more Disfigure, because Disfigure is very good against the aggro decks. I'm cutting Legion's End, which is also a card that was good there. And do I just like do the non-committal 3-3-3-3-3? Just because like I feel like the other green ramp decks are some of the better decks right now. It's just like having an extra grasp seems fine. Yeah, that seems like more than reasonable. Isn't Duress just as good as Disdainful Stroke? Duress and Disdainful Stroke are good against a lot of the same things, but they're good in different ways, especially when you're playing a deck like ours that's capable of applying pressure. So Duress is a card that I would refer to as tempo negative, because while we're getting a 1-for-1, we're spending a mana to take a card that my opponent didn't spend any mana on. Whereas Disdainful Stroke is a card that's always tempo positive, because I'm putting 2 mana in and I'm stopping 4+ mana that my opponent has spent. And that tempo aspect of the two is very important in terms of like different spots where one is good and the other is not. Magic's a really low variance game. This hand's actually really good though. Here's to good 5s. You got my wisdom teeth ripped out today. Been there, done that. Hope you feel better. I think I'd rather this die than Knight of the Ebon Legion here. Yeah, that's actually a really good observation about about curve, breaking up curves, and I definitely agree with that to a degree, but it's not, it's a little bit of a different way, basically. In fact, we just put another stroke in our board for these fires decks. This is likely another fires deck. A lot of the Grixis decks I've seen other people streaming involve fires. Jeff, that was the first time I've ever heard someone explain tempo. Thanks. I think. Hey, Ned Heflin, thanks for continuing your sub gift. I appreciate it. There might be some spice on the other side of the table. All right, who's afraid of the big bad wolf? The big bad wolf, the big bad wolf. Renowned weapon fist afraid of the big bad wolf. Sorry, that's one of my 5-year-old's favorite songs. Now, all of the fire decks I've played against have sucked so far. Yeah, I agree. I'm not a huge fan of the art on this card. I'm gonna go ahead and make a food now, so that way they can't kill this in response to me making a food later. I have a 5-year-old daughter. I know the exact cartoon that comes from. Yep, you know. When you have children, chat, there is no more silence. There is only Paw Patrol. Interesting. That sounds like excellent birth control. I do what I can. Okay. We got a Paw Patrol book with a doorbell. That's been fun. Just watched the whistling clip and wanted to say until last year I couldn't whistle, and oh boy, does my wife regret spending the weekend teaching me. Is that the least bad of these cards? Yeah, I'm gonna grab this here, actually. This lets me punished. I guess that's a black source that lets me activate this castle later. To answer the Paw Patrol question, in general, I'm more of a Boulder man myself. Well, if that's their best play here, that bodes well for us. Activating this food proactively was probably wrong, actually, because if they cast Clarion, I could have used... Nah, I guess I could only save one or the other. Yeah, in a lot of ways, chat. Food is, as a resource, is definitely better costed than energy. The big problem with energy is that with energy, things just randomly made energy for free, basically, whereas food is like built into the cost, essentially. Was that a good draw, chat? How do we feel about that one? Scale of 1 to good. Where is that one at? What is your quest? I seek the face. The face is the place in which I seek. So this is 4. Man, I could put them to 1 here. That's so sad. Because this makes a food and this goes up to 6. Close. I could have killed this, right? I could have killed this. I'd rather make a food than burn a food to kill this, I think. Turns out they are in fact afraid of the big bad wolf. Vraska's been a little middling so far, huh? She's been a card I've been reaching to cut a good deal. I'd actually rather... Do I want Disdainful Stroke here? Or I just want like a couple of Noxious Grasps, extra ways to kill Kaikar. You can see that. Could we replace Vraska with Rankle? I don't know if this is a Rankle deck. I feel like I don't have that many... Yeah, Vraska's good against Oko. Yeah, I agree. And she could just be like what we refer to as like a replacement level card, where like one of the things that's nice about Vraska is that even when she's bad, she's still pretty okay. So like if we're boarding her out a lot, she has some matchups where she's great against like the other Oko decks, and then like everywhere else she's still fine game 1 and we just upgrade her game 2. I think she might be fine from that perspective. Definitely want to give her a little bit more time before I write her off. I think Rankle's good in aggressively slanted decks that tend to play cheap threats. So they have creatures that they don't mind sacrificing in the mid game to it. You can see us play a couple different red-black knights and aristocrats variations with Rankle in it to reasonable success. You can find those on my website and my YouTube channel at this point. I would like to thank everybody for being here this afternoon, by the way. It's about 3 o'clock. We still got 2,500 people in here. My plans for every day this week is when we hit 3 o'clock, if we've still got about 2,000 people, I'm going to keep on going. While the folks are here, I plan to lean into doing extra content. Yeah, Rankle's been great. I definitely, like most people, I misread that card the first time I looked at it, and I think that card was probably playable even if you could only pick one of its modes, but the fact that like you could pick one or more is just so good. What's my max live time for the day? Like physically, like 14 to 15 hours is where I start to feel like, oh my god, I'm going to die, I should sign off. Probably 10 to 12 hours on these days if the viewer count's high. I think is about my goal. I think the fact that Rankle dies to Lightning Bolt means it's probably not good enough in Modern. Let's make this bigger. We are, so we're definitely gonna go for at least a couple more hours tonight. I'm gonna do at least blue-green flash after this. I think I'm gonna play this match and then one more with this.
Behold, new wonders.
I mean, to be fair, Huckbear, I think it's foolish to assume that Wizards doesn't think I'm useful or good at what I do, right? Because that's obviously not the case. They can know that I'm good at what I do and also say that they don't want to work with me, right? Like that's their prerogative. Both those things can be true. Things are not mutually exclusive. The word I'm looking for. Another part of it too is they certainly know I'm not going anywhere, right? So like there's certain people who like stream Magic on occasion that like if they're not getting sponsorship stuff, they're gonna make less Magic content. Like I'm here 30, 40, 50 hours a week regardless. So, like, even if they ignore me, they know they're still getting content out of me. One of your finest green sources, please. Once upon a time, there was a breeding pool. There was a basic forest. I'll take the first one. Thank you. That card's so good. Card's so good. And again, like, this is why it's just so hard to evaluate Once Upon a Time on a power level perspective. Because it's like, you know, maybe I mulligan to 6 and I still win this game, right? All right, another Field of the Dead deck. All right, hoping to draw a land next turn. I actually think a lot of the 3-color mana bases are better this season than they were last season, F-Nord. Again, just to highlight small mistakes from my opponents, my opponent should definitely wait till their turn to play Once Upon a Time, because then they get to make the decision of what they're getting with this card with more info. You should always play this card at the last possible moment. Land, please. Ooh. Crunch. I love my 3-headed monster. He's so angry and aggressive. My quest. I seek to end arboreal grazers. I think I'm just supposed to pass here. Because if I cast this, I'm out of food. And then if they, like, play a sweeper, I die. So I think I just want to hang out and, like, if they Golos or whatever, I can Murderous Rider it and then smack them for 4 again. I don't know. I kind of like this deck. I also kind of like the Black-Red Knights deck we've been playing. There's a lot of things in this format that I like. It's still kind of early to tell. I don't have another tournament coming up for a while, so I don't really have to make any decisions about things. If I was someone playing green in Modern, I would make a point to test Once Upon a Time in every green deck possible. You'd be doing yourself a disservice. I mean, like, winning or losing with Henge doesn't really change my opinion about it. I'm just gonna pass back. Can this questing beast just run them down for the full 21? Yeah, questing beast was very obviously printed to solve a lot of problems these green mid-range decks have. It solves some of the Planeswalker issue, solves the Field of the Dead issue. Like there's a lot of things he does that you're interested in having these decks are interested in doing.
This might be a bad idea.
Yeah, it's good. It's good against this jerk. It even blocks zombies in the backswing, which is hot. Chomp.
Want me to phase you out of time?
Do you want me to phase you out of time? You're so salty, Tefri. Wonder if we're gonna see and they plus, so I wonder if we're gonna see like an end step circuitous route. Just like make some zombies. Sure. Things that don't block questing beasts for 100. People ask me like my favorite decks in the format right now. I think they all involve this card. The green red growth deck we played this morning was also sweet in large part due to questing beast. J Bags, thanks for doling out some sub gifties. Happy Monday to you. Hope you're having a good one wherever you are. Stream Decker's probably having some issues. I'm gonna ping them again. How many lines of text can you remove from questing beasts and still have it be insane? Probably a lot. Socratic Phoenix, thanks for the 5 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around.
Here goes nothing.
Alright, so just need to stay alive here, basically, right? So, I think I'm just gonna play Murderous Rider out here. Because that, like, this basically blocks multiple zombies, right? Was it, like, blocks and then it gains? Sure, you have another route. So they're gonna get 4 more, but that's still not lethal. Because I'm at a virtual, I'm at a virtual 16, virtual 19 with the food. Yeah. Like, they're just dead to this questing beast. Death Touch makes him much better in the monster mirrors. In the mirrors, in the monster mirrors, he likes the mirrors. The Death Touch mirrors, do 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 do, do 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 do. With this Murderous Rider in hand, hopefully they're on the 0 outer here. All right, this guy top. What you got? What you got? What you got? What you got? If they hit a time wipe, they can theoretically bounce their Grazer, replay it to block the Wicked Wolf, then they're dead to the second QB. That is a pretty good one, but it doesn't beat Murderous Rider. Because they go to 4. Honk the goose. Honk the goose. Honk the goose. We're gonna play this during our upkeep, just so they know we already had it. Just so they know we weren't drawn to it. Let them know what's up. Let them know they were dead the whole time. Disdainful Stroke is great here. Duress is probably good. I think Paradise Druid's a cut. I think Vraska's a cut. Do I want some Ceratops? I think I do. We haven't played any matchups where I'm expecting her to be good either, though. But, like, yeah, maybe she's just a sideboard card. And, like, I play some Ceratops or something in the main. Like I said, she's like a replacement level card. I think she's probably fine a lot of the time. I mean, we can kill Tefri a lot of the time. Stroke counters their sweepers, like Time Wipe. It counters Root. It counters Golos. Wizards claimed that the goose not honking is a bug, and it's one they're going to fix, so we'll see if that happens. What about Garruk? Garruk is so much mana. Like, 6 mana is basically infinite mana. But yeah, maybe like the 4th Paradise Druid and 2 Garruks at the top end are acceptable. I don't know. I think Vraska's pretty reasonable overall. I'd wanna play against the Nissa Oko ramp decks before I cut the Vraskas. Before I was like, yeah, I don't need this card. I can go either way on this one. I don't know, do I need like a Haymaker? Isn't this a Haymaker? Can't this be a Haymaker? Some source of big over-the-top card advantage could be nice though. That card definitely does that well. Alright, they're gonna like cast Flame Sweep next turn and I'm gonna curl up in a little ball and cry, but you know, if they don't, be aggressive. Be aggressive. Do 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 do. So they're taking 6 next turn if they don't have a thing. And then all my squad gets bigger. And they're taking 10 the following turn. Maybe I don't even play this out. That being their play seems good for me. I guess it gains them a bunch and prevents me from getting a counter, huh? Here's a question. Do I just hit this and let them eat this? I think that's actually the answer. Like, this makes, like, their time wipe this turn much worse. Marginally worse. Yeah, I think I like this line. You got it, bud. Yeah, tempo over value is exactly correct. Questling beef. I'm gonna attack Teferi here just in case they have a way to tempo this again next turn. Yeah, no instant speed time wipe is ideal too. Huh? Probably dead.
Here we go.
They're still pretty far away from activating this, so it's just a 3/5 for the time being. They can trade these two for this, and then Knight kills this. Oh, they can't trade these two for this, because it can't be... Oh, this card. Can I beat a time wipe? Yeah, I think I can with other questing beasts off the top. I think I'm supposed to play around it. The extra knight doesn't do a whole lot in this board anyways.
Don't worry, I got this.
Sure, you have 2 zombies. Eye of the Tiger should be the theme song for the questing beast. I can see that. I think we're dead. Annie. Hey, what's going on, Boogie? Good to have you here. Sorry, had to confirm with the boss there for a moment. She approved the overtime for this evening, so. Alright, the goose is loose, chat. I don't think that card's very good. Like, we don't have anywhere near enough creatures for that card to be good. Colmino. Sakti, thanks for the 10 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. I think I like the Knights deck better as far as the Rakdos decks are concerned, but I'm not 100%. Could go either way. Alright, I'd like a QB, please. One of your finest beastlies, please. I think I might, if we like draw a brick again next turn, I think I might actually make the goose into a 3/3 since I'm playing another goose anyways, just to like keep extra food in the bank to play around a sweeper. Yeah, that's actually a pretty good draw. Yeah, three strokes seems super good in the sideboard.
Let's broaden your existence.
Let's put the goose on the bottom, shall we? It's like, what if I just like make a 3/3 every turn? How would that make you feel? Yeah, Oko can take Golos, which is great. So I have enough mana to, I can counter a sweeper next turn. So I think I just do this, hit them for 6, play this, and then if I draw a land, I can actually kill them next turn after I stroke their thing. Oh, I didn't make a food with goose. Good call. Good call. I definitely forgot to make a food with Goose. Thank you for pointing that out. That is not a play pattern that I have ingrained in my brain yet. And actually, they're just dead after we counter their 5-drop here, right? This felt really clean. It's like counter your thing, untap, kill you.
Surely you see the humor here.
This deck feels really good. Just good mid-range stuff. Seems super reasonable. As far as like flex slots go, I'm not 100% sure if this is a card I want. Like I said, I would want to play some games against the other Oko decks before I decided to cut this card. While she's not stellar in a lot of matchups, she definitely fits the bar of good enough to like be playable in a lot of those spots. So I like this deck feels like a really good mix of both interactive and proactive, which is generally speaking where I want my decks to be. Like, all 3 of these cards are answer threat split cards. They're cards that solve a problem on the other side of the board and also allow us to pressure the opponent. Yeah, if you want to play this deck and you want to let your inner Timmy out, you can cut the 3 copies of Vraska for 2 Garrick and a Paradise Druid as an extra way to ramp to it. That's probably fine. Let's get cynical. Any consideration for running Nissa or Krasis? Yeah, I could see those being over the Vraskas if you want some more top end too. You can see something that generates a lot of card advantage. Thanks for the 5 months professional egg. A couple or few Nissas at the top end could be good here too. She's just like a genuinely powerful card. We don't have a ton of payoffs for ramping with Nissa, but Knight of the Ebon Legion is a card that pays it off. One thing I'd like to comment on is just how smooth the mana base in this deck ended up being. If you look at the mana, I really didn't think 3-color decks were going to be playable after the checklands rotated out, but between Goose, Paradise Druid, Fabled Passage, and then Once Upon a Time, it really feels very smooth. So this mana base is basically base green-black, because the deck itself is base green-black, but we have 10 blue sources here, and then Once Upon a Time, Goose, and Paradise Druid basically meant we had blue and we needed blue in those games. So the 3-color decks that are base green seem super reasonable still, which honestly, that's probably a good place for these 3-color decks to be. Like, if most of your 3-color decks are leaning on green as fixing, I think that's in green's color identity, which seems reasonable. All right, we are gonna slide along to another one here. We've got some blue-green flash up next. Before we dive into this, I'm going to take a quick ad break and grab a snack because, you know, hungry hippo. I'll be right back. Thanks everybody for hanging out today. Hope you have an excellent Monday wherever you are.